For as long as I could remember, I never felt like I belonged anywhere. Growing up in a small town, I couldn't relate to anybody else. Home didn't feel like home. I was very different from both of my parents. Even as a kid, I could see how jarring it was for them to raise me. They were young themselves, so I understand that they didn't know how to nurture me. When they were younger, they were outgoing, had many friends, many extracurriculars, athletic, and I was a quiet, solitary bookworm. I was different from my siblings too, so I was the black sheep of the family, and almost everywhere else too. I always had difficulty connecting with other girls my age and making friends. I can count up all my friends on one hand growing up. I was always the weird one. I was not what one could consider an average black girl. Yeah, I was weird, I can admit. I had my ways. For the most part, though, I couldn't understand all the social games and I wasn't interested in playing them. Growing up, I just remember looking around and thinking, everybody's worried about the wrong thing. Just complete BS. Constant drama, gossip, negativity, bitterness, the crabs in the bucket mentality, typical small town shit. I was just so sick of everything the moment I was born almost. I just wanted to live and let live. I just wanted to love and be loved. Everybody was talking about and thinking about each other, but I was thinking about myself. I was thinking of my future. I was thinking of success. I always knew I had something in me that was different from the people in my hometown. I always knew that I would one day be successful. I was always singled out, both at school and at home. So many attempts of bullying, public humiliation. I've been ostracized almost my whole life. But through all that, I stood tall because somewhere along the line, I realized I didn't want their acceptance. I didn't want to be like other people. I wanted to be greater. And if you've ever felt that way or have been put in a similar position, you're being called to do something greater. You're being molded and prepared for a higher purpose. You are being put through these trials and you must rise to the occasion. Listen, isolation isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity, it's a gift to develop yourself and push yourself to be greater than all the people that are currently around you. I was separated from the pack all those times because I was meant to lead my own, even if I'm the lone wolf. Friend groups never worked for me because somehow, some way, there's always that odd one left out. In other instances, my energy would clash with others and it was just not a good match. There would be some jealousy, some misunderstandings that could have easily been talked out. But most people don't have the gift of communication. Most people don't want an understanding. They want drama. I would encounter people that would go out of their way to have an issue with me. And I found that every single time I overstay a messy situation, whether that be a friendship, relationship, or family related matters that isn't productive for me, that is stifling my growth, that is keeping me from who I'm destined to be, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, plucks me right out of there and puts me where I need to be. And in that regard, I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed. And let me tell you, isolation is infinitely better than chaos and dysfunction. In a situation where I'm met with constant frustration that just is not working, no matter what I do or how hard I try, damned if you do, damned if you don't, I'm removed from it. I used to be around people that found joy in my downfall, found amusement in me getting angry. They loved to insert me in drama, sat with the same people that wanted to see me crumble. And eventually, I realized I didn't deserve that. I spent 3 years alone, and it's given me so much perspective to understand others, to empathize with others, to develop my mind and my craft. To develop my mind and my craft. It gave me the opportunity to learn to think for myself and be my own complete person. And I became grateful for it. And for the alternative, eventually I witnessed what no time for introspection or self improvement does to a person. I knew someone who quite literally could not be alone, who could not stand on their own 2 feet for more than a moment without buckling at the knees. They would constantly go out and be out until the early hours of the morning. Doesn't matter if it's a weekend, weekday, Wednesday at 4 a.m. Sure, I'm outside. They were in very codependent, toxic, dysfunctional friend groups. I guess if you could even call it that, because with friends like those, who needs enemies, right? And one person, friend group was never enough. They were out for more and more and more popularity, more notoriety, more people to nurture me and be my friend, more people to acknowledge me and tell me I'm worth it. But none of those people were doing that in the first place. This person couldn't face themselves. This person desperately wanted, more than anything, acceptance. To be loved by the same people who wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. Any and all disrespect was an invitation for them to prove their worth. And in the words of Elphaba, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. Desperate to live out the fantasy of being the queen bee, they spiraled into madness and delusion. But at some point, you're inevitably going to have to face yourself. When nobody's available to go out, when you're in bed alone, you're staring at the ceiling, the lights go out, and it's just you in that cold, empty room. There's only so much running you can do before yourself catches up with you. And now, for me personally, I think I'm entering that isolation zone again. So I'm taking this as an opportunity and making the most of it to nurture my health, my beauty, my mind, and my spirit. When I was growing up, I was made to feel like I could never do anything on my own, that I needed somebody to stand beside me or help me, or else I was effectively worthless. And that led me to being codependent on people who weren't dependable at all. I was always looking for an equal. I was looking for a peer who understood me. But now I believe I'm being shown that I need to find the power that's within myself. I'm worthy and complete all by my lonesome. So if you long to be accepted by your peers or your community, don't worry. The more you ascend in life, the less you relate to the average person. You are meant for more. Take this opportunity to give yourself your complete and undivided attention. Learn that skill, pursue that degree, go after that job in that other city, start that YouTube channel. Whatever has been calling you, pick up the phone. In the comments, tell me about the moment you realized you didn't belong in a certain situation and removed yourself or was removed. How did you realize it? What did it take for you to reach that realization? Was it in hindsight or in the moment? Be very vividly vocal in the comments. I hope everyone is well with the LA fires and what occurred in New Orleans and Las Vegas. It's freezing cold here in Texas as well. The world is in a very scary place right now. And I pray for you all. Please stay safe. I know with all the uncertainty going on right now, it can be very frightening, but as long as we have each other, we will get through it. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow on YouTube or wherever you are listening. If you would like to take me on the go, Vividly Vocal is available on all podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and much, much more. And of course, no face videos today. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see my beautiful mug. I think these little slideshow videos are going to be more convenient for me when I don't have time to set up the whole shebang, But I really like this. I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will see you all on the next one. Bye.